20 minutes before the top of the hour here on this Friday. And this is the 2012 U.S. Open, and this is a young man making history merely by participating. Andy Zhang, 14 years of age, one of the really great stories we saw at the Olympic Club, and it's nice to have Andy with us in studio, and Andrew Park, his instructor from the Ledbetter Academy. Good morning to both of you guys. How are you?
Great, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have you. I mean, when you make history, we want to have you in. Now, what's it been like, Andy, since that experience? Because you were on television a good bit. People were very interested in your story. How much attention have you got? Have you been recognized at a lot of these junior events?
Yes. Yeah, I've been to a few junior events after the Open, and people kind of know who I was, who I am, and they came up and say hi, and it just feels really good.
You know, Andrew, for you, I know you're very proud of a young man to do what he did to qualify and get into a U.S. Open. What's the advice on the back end of the experience? What are some of the things you imparted upon Andy after playing in the U.S. Open?
I've just said to him, you know, he's just got to keep doing the things that he's been doing. You know, be a kid. Don't try and do something different like the tour players. And I think that's the most important thing for him as a junior.
Andy, what would you consider your strengths and weaknesses? And then I'm going to ask you answer the same question, what you consider his strengths and weaknesses.
Well, I think my strength is approach out to the green, mid short irons. I'm working on the tee shots right now. There's some swing changes going through. My short game is kind of average. Trying to make more putts, but obviously can't make everyone. So
that's a good attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, with Andy, he hits the ball so far. His club head speed's 115 miles an hour, and so now he has to learn to shape it.
Okay.
So that's probably the part that we have to work on, because every now and then I get a phone call from him. He says, "Oh, I'm walking the ball, I'm fading the ball," and so I have to come up with some troubleshooting ideas. You know, tee it lower, Andy, and just make sure you have a guaranteed fade. Because on the British Open, one of the commentators made a good point that people that hit it, you know, a long way have to shape the ball. And if you're using, you know, start at the left edge of the fairway or the right edge of the fairway, then you've got more fairway to work with. But if you're trying to aim down the middle, you've got less fairway to work with.
Sure. Yeah, and eliminate one side if you can, for sure.
Now, Andy, that week, a lot was made of you walking in the locker room and going, "Oh my gosh, that's free, and that's free, and that's free." What was the best thing that you said, I can take this, and it's mine?
It was definitely the Snickers. They just have like a whole bucket of candies there. You can just take whatever you want. I mean, in the junior tournament, they make you pay like $250 for those.
It's so beautiful. I love that.
And they do your laundry for you. They clean your shoes. Everybody's so nice. And then you meet people like I saw Luke Donald.
Who, by the way, you beat in the opening round. You clipped him by a shot there.
No, actually, I thought I tied him.
Oh, did you tie him? I thought you beat him by a shot. Either way, nonetheless. And here's the thing about your round, that first round. You got off to a rocky start. Have you ever felt anything like that in your life, to stand on the first tee of the U.S. Open? I mean, no. What did it feel like?
I feel nervous. That's basically what I felt on the first tee. And I mean, never had that much people watching me before. I was actually really happy hitting the first shot straight, but just a little left. I mean, starting off bad, I never thought about it, but it kind of happens when I get nervous. So, but it was definitely a great experience.
It's a learning experience. You'll never forget that, and you'll deal with it better the next time.
Yeah.
Anchored putter is a big topic of conversation now.
No.
How do you feel about them? And Andrew, are you kind of encouraging kids to start with that, or how do you feel about it?
Well, it's an interesting topic, because the thing about the putting is that you always have to have the line correct, and then the speed. And if you don't have those two, it doesn't matter what putter you're using, whether it's a belly putter or not. But one of my students who was leading overnight, Hyung Park in Evian, happens to be using it for the first time this week, and she hasn't told her dad.
He knows now.
No, yeah, absolutely. So I've tried it, just experimenting, because I have to sometimes teach students to use it. I think it's it really helps you get a perfect pendulum. But the one thing I notice is that you've got to obviously read the greens correctly and get the speed right. So, it's going to be interesting to see. I would rather wait and see over 10 years whether the long putter is more dominant than the short putter.
Yeah, whether the trend continues. Now,
Yeah.
in the tournaments you're playing, Andy, do you see a lot of your competitors using it or trying it?
Yeah, they actually started to try the belly putter more. You can see more kids like my age starting to use the belly putter. I tried every kind of putter. I've been using belly putter for like 2 months and a chest putter for like 3 months. And I think right now I'm using like a normal putter, but I don't know if I'm gonna switch or not.
Keep using it. Your nerves are good, I assure you. They're fine. Stick with it.
Well, it's great having both of you here, Andy, Zhang, Andrew Park from the Ledbetter Academy. You really showed yourself very well. You handled yourself with a lot of grace and a lot of dignity, and you played admirably at the U.S. Open. You got to teach us how you do that thing when you make a putt. I mean, that's I'm telling you. What is it? It's like fist pumps and slapping fives. What is that?
It's well, my buddy Chris, who caddied for me, we've been together for 7 months. It's our own little handshake thing.
It's more than a handshake.
You know what? We're not in the club. We can't.
No,
do the
that's
handshake.
true. That's true. It's great having both of you here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, when we continue here on Morning Drive in 15 minutes, we'll go to France. We'll get an update on the Evian Masters and our Back Nine viewer poll today, because in 2016 you will have golf in the Olympics. Who knows? Andy could be representing his home nation. Should the Olympic gold medalists also receive a trophy? There's a reason why we're asking this question. You'll find out later on. MD1 or MD2, text all your responses to 55333. We're back right after this.
See no cash.